Now we have little kids dying of mommy and daddy's diseases because they're eating the same way, they're living the same lifestyle, they're doing the same things, and now they're dying younger. What are the 8 laws of health? Nutrition. And you can remember them by thinking of the acronym NUSTAR. Nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, trusting God or divine power. That food be thy medicine and the medicine be thy food. He is the founder of modern medicine. Yet he wanted everybody to be able to start healing themselves through what they ate. Through what they ate. That is what is supposed to be healing us. So the pills and the prescriptions and everything that are handed out to us are supposed to be used in only extreme cases. However, the medical industry is flipped. Now it's all about that, and at the last second, we start thinking about what we eat. We have to take responsibility for our own actions, right? I have a doctor, she says, I tell people when they come into my office, they're not feeling well, they don't look great, they're, out of shape, out of breath, and I tell them what to eat, but they do not listen. As a last resort, in order to save that person's life, I have to put them on a pill that is probably gonna cause more harm than good. We're not supposed to be subsisting off of medication. When you start getting in the 30s and 40s, people are living on this stuff, cocktails, like they're old. I take my Lipitor and my this and that and my this. I'm like, what? I'm a personal trainer and I'm still stumbling over the words that sometimes that come across my desk. I'm like, what is this? I never heard of that. Oh, that's from this and that, and I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? The leading cause of death is heart disease. Proper nutrition is gonna help to stem the tide of that in a major way. And cancer, okay? And you have the consequences of not having proper nutrition. Now, what is proper nutrition? A diet that is high in plants and vegetables, okay? Fruits and vegetables, nuts and grains, okay? Meat should be like a sliver of your plate. Right now, it's the highest, and then there's not even any grain in the bread that we're eating. It's all white, processed, bleached stuff. So now we're eating a lot of food, but there's no nutrition in it. All your nutrition, all of that is coming from your plants. Now, just think about it real quick. When you eat a burger, where are they getting their nutrition from? The cows that you eat. They're getting it from the grass. And then the grass from the sunlight, blah, blah, blah. So we're actually getting our nutrition third hand. Why not go directly to the source? Just think about it in a very, very pragmatic way. Use common sense. I'm not saying go out and be vegan today, but start making some switches in your diet, okay? Usually half of your plate here, all raw fruits and vegetables, okay? So for breakfast, say you have a banana, apple, and some grapes. Try to have at least 3 different fruit combinations in the morning, okay? Then you have your oatmeal, then you have your protein, okay? You have grain, put some flax seeds, put as much raw nuts, fruits, vegetables in your diet as possible. Then your protein at the side, okay? Make that, and try to make that plant-based as well. A lot of your plants have a lot of protein in it, so you don't have to have meat in every meal.
Hate taking them.
In the mid-1960s, Dr. Campbell was in the Philippines, trying to get more protein to millions of malnourished children. To keep costs down, he and his colleagues decided not to use animal-based protein. The program was beginning to show success. But then Dr. Campbell stumbled onto a piece of information that was extremely important. It centered on the more affluent families in the Philippines, who were eating relatively high amounts of animal-based foods.
But at the same time, they were the ones most likely to have the children who were susceptible to getting liver cancer.
This was very unusual, since liver cancers are mainly found in adults.
But just the mere fact that they occurred in children said, there's something here. This is pretty significant.
Shortly afterward, Dr. Campbell came across a scientific paper published in a little-known Indian medical journal. It detailed work that had been done on a population of experimental rats that were first exposed to a carcinogen called aflatoxin, then fed a diet of casein, the main protein found in milk.
They were testing the effect of protein on the development of liver cancer. They used 2 different levels of protein. They used 20% of total calories, and then they used a much lower level, 5%. 20% turned on cancer, 5% turned it off.
This Indian paper, together with what Dr. Campbell had learned about increased liver cancers in children eating animal-based foods, combined to create a decisive moment in his work and his life.
Because we learned that animal protein was really good in turning on cancer.
While Dr. Campbell was publishing his China study, Dr. Esselstyn was getting some powerful data from the research he'd started in 1985. He began with 24 patients, but 6 had dropped out in the first year, leaving him with a total of 18.
At the end of 5 years, we had follow-up angiograms, and 11 of the group had halted their disease. There was no progression. And there were 4 where we had rather exciting evidence of regression of disease.
These results were astonishing. The diet produced something that medication and surgery never had before: actual reversals of heart disease. The biological mechanism that caused these reversals centers on the lining of our veins and arteries, the endothelial cells.
They are the absolute life jackets of our blood vessels. You're young and you're a teenager, you're healthy. You could spread those out 1 layer thick and you'd have something that would cover 6 or 8 tennis courts.
In 1988, scientists discovered that endothelial cells manufactured the gas nitric oxide.
Well, what does nitric oxide do? Nitric oxide keeps our blood flowing smoothly without being sticky.
It also helps to dilate constricted blood vessels during physical activity and inhibits the formation of plaque.
And most importantly, nitric oxide is a powerful force for eliminating the inflammation that seems to go with this plaque.
However, scientific tests have demonstrated that when we start eating the typical Western diet, our endothelial cells are damaged.
When you're getting to be in your 40s and 50s and 60s and you've been slaughtering your endothelial cells, you don't have those 6 or 8 tennis courts. You may be down to 1.5 or 2, and they can't protect you.
Yet according to Dr. Esselstyn, when we begin eating a whole foods, plant-based diet, the damage to our endothelial cells not only stops, it starts to reverse. About 5 years into his study, Esselstyn made a small but significant change in his patient's menu.
Sometimes if you don't brush your teeth, you'll see plaque in your mouth. You're like, oh my God, you brush that stuff out. Now think about how long food is in your system. It's really just gunk and garbage from the things that we eat, okay? And not drinking enough water, not getting enough sleep. All of these things are contributing factors. Now, it's not just the plaque. So people think they have the surgery, and then that yellow stuff just comes out and they're good. But did you see from that diagram, it actually damages the cells of the artery or the veins walls. So that is harmed in this whole process. So even if you take this out, now that's what cancer is. That those growths, those abnormalities, those growths, that's what cancer is. And when you eat a certain way, it actually heals itself. It heals itself. All right? When you drink enough water, you can actually heal yourself. You can. But it takes a process. Now, I always tell people too, the longer time you spend kind of messing yourself up, sometimes you need that much time and more to fix yourself. I used to go to a health clinic out in Massachusetts, and I called them up. I had a client who their parent had cancer, so I called them up and I said, how long will it take for you to fix this person? And it's funny because she answered me like how I usually answer my clients when they ask me for results in fitness. She said, it really depends on the person. And it was crazy. As soon as she said that, I knew exactly where she was going. It depends on how far gone are they before they get in. Exercise, actually, those are the 2 most important determining factors for that determine how long you will live. Exercise and diet, the 2 go hand in hand, okay? As you can see, the benefits, they're all there. Control weight, improve mood, reduce anxiety, combats health conditions and diseases. That's your heart disease, okay? In fact, only 23% of the population exercises. 23%, that's it, I know, that's what I said. 23%. So do you see how the numbers correlate? If it's only 23%, so that's the other, what, 80% or whatever? And then you got that big piece of the pie where everybody's dying of heart disease or everybody's dying of cancer. There's a correlation there. There's a direct correlation, and it needs to be talked about. All right, water, same thing. Helps to control calories, helps energize muscles. Water keeps skin looking good. Kidneys, helps the kidneys. Now, remember, your water is actually coursing through your veins, okay? If you're not drinking enough water, what's happening in your veins is you're creating like a pond type situation. Have you seen a pond? It looks disgusting. There's like all kind of green stuff floating on it. Why? Because there's nothing rushing through it, okay? So and then contrast that now with a river or a stream where things are flowing. The water looks cleaner. It's like, ooh, it's a river, right? The pond, you're like, yo, that's nasty. It stinks. It's the same thing that's going on with our bodies. When you drink water, you're creating like a river, a cleaner situation for the body. Sunshine. A lot of people don't realize sunshine is very important. So getting out and making sure that you get enough sunlight is very important for the body. And now they call these laws for a reason, okay? As you break these laws, negative things happen. For certain people, based on your genes, if you break a law, you might just get a ticket. Okay? If you keep breaking those laws over and over and over again, eventually you're gonna have to go to court. It's the same thing with the body. You keep breaking these laws and not thinking that they're important, something bad will eventually happen. Temperance. Temperance is basically self-control. That is a very religious word, temperance. I am very temperate in all that I do, and I read. Being temperate just means self-control, all right? Keep your wild parties down to a minimum. Maybe every other weekend, not every weekend, right? I know you guys are in college. So temperance just means self-control, all right? Instead of 8 drinks, maybe just dial it down to 2 or 3, all right? If you have 2 or 3, maybe just 1, and every once in a while. Be in control of who you are. We all have that friend that's a little bit out of control, and you're like, yo, I never want to be that dude. And if you don't have that friend, then maybe you need to look in the mirror. All right, let's go to the next slide. That might be you. You might be that out of control dude at the party. All right, air, same thing, fresh air. So honestly, if you look at things like exercise, sunlight, and air, you can actually knock all of these out in one shot by just going for a walk in the park. Right? Or going to a reservoir or something. Now you're getting clean air. I don't think we pay attention to how deeply we breathe. We're just sitting here, very shallow breaths. The body needs air, okay? Very important to make sure that you're getting clean air. So these diseases, a lot of times we like to just focus on nutrition, but we all have that friend that's very healthy and still gets sick. They might be in violation of one of the other laws, or sometimes many of the other laws, okay? So there are many reasons why we get sick. And the rule of thumb is if you're in violation of one of the 8 laws of health, then chances are that's why you got sick. It doesn't always have to be nutrition. It could be any of these, all right? Rest. College students sleep horribly. You guys develop horrible habits here. Then when you go out into the real world, that stuff carries over. Then we're wondering why we can't lose weight, blah, 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 blah. The body uses rest or sleep in order to heal itself, especially before the hours of 12 o'clock. Between the hours of 9 to 12 is where your body is doing the most growing and healing. So sometimes when we wake up, when we're feeling groggy, it's because we're not sleeping. So just a quick thing. If you have a test and you need to cram, chances are you're better off actually going to sleep early and waking up at like 3. And your body and your mind is actually clearer when you do that.
I was told if you have a test that you should actually go to bed early, like a couple days before, and start going to bed because your body really needs that time to prepare itself. And just going to bed early the night before is not enough. You actually wake up even more tired because your body was trying to recuperate long days you stayed up studying. You should start doing it a couple days beforehand. And space it out, like almost a week, Especially if you have like finals and stuff. You better start sleeping like 3 weeks ahead of time.
That's huge. Rest is very, very important, especially for cognitive development and for brain function. If you're not getting enough sleep, it's true fact, I'm sorry to put it on there, but your mind has a hard time figuring out where up is and where down is. Thank you so much for sitting through my presentation. I had some exercises I was going to make you do, but you've escaped my wrath. You ready? They ready to go? You ready to go do something? What are we doing? So let's go down. Let's go ahead and hold a plank for a second, all right? Go down to your elbows, and let's see who can hold it the longest. So elbow plank, very simple. Here, get on the elbows, and hold yourself up, just like this, okay?
I studied stuff like this, and it was the main thing was changing my diet. I've always worked out and stuff like that, but I didn't realize how it was night and day.
Yeah.
And
send me a friend request, man. I'm
definitely
like to follow you.
I'm trying to do everything that has in my
That's really good, man.
and there's still ways to go. It's not over.
Yeah,
yet,
it's
so
not. That's what it is. It's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? You never graduate, or you never reach this pinnacle. It's like, okay, I've done everything that there is to do in health and fitness, and I am perfect now. No, it's continually progressive. It's a very progressive thing.
You're on the Facebook group or that event, right?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
All right, he sent me one for right there.
All right, yeah, that'd be good, man. What's your name again?
I'm Matt.
Matt, nice to meet you, Anthony.
Nice to meet you,
See you
man.
later, guys.
Congrats, bro.
We made it. It's over. It's done. Yeah, I rocked the house. They love me.
So,
All right, man.